Hello everybody, welcome to the next game in the 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. We're still in Series 8, obviously. This is matchup number 3. Game number 1 of matchup number 3, the Cleveland Indians in Seattle. And of course, just like the other games in Series 8, there was an off day on May the 6th, so no rest rolls are required. So let's look at the starting pitchers for both teams. For the Mariners, it will be left-hander Jay Happ. And for the Indians, it will be Carlos Carrasco, a right-hander. There you see the starting lineups and the bench and the bullpens for both teams. Have the Seattle Mariner colored, or at least themed, dice. So we'll go with that. Game is up on the computer. The Indians coming to this game 14-7 in first place in the league. Seattle is 2 games back at 12-9. And of course, the Mets, Tampa Bay, Boston, they're all in the running as well. Very close in the standings. One interesting note I just saw when I pulled up the computer a few minutes ago, Jason Kipnis was hitless in his last game, and it broke his 20-game hitting streak. He had a hit in the first 20 games of the season. Game 21, the final game of Series 7, he went hitless, and that broke his 20-game hitting streak. He is still leading the league, the only hitter over 400, and he's leading in most of those categories. But just thought it was interesting to note that he had that 20-game hitting streak that just came to an end. I'm up here in the man cave. This is Memorial Day that I'm recording this. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload it. I'm probably going to upload this tomorrow, I imagine. But I'm going to try to get a couple of recordings in today, this game and also the Boston-San Francisco game in San Francisco. So I'm going to try to get those done. Not my normal setup, but because I like to be downstairs preferably, but I don't have the privacy to do this downstairs. There's too much noise going on, TVs and everything else. So coming up here in the man cave to do it here. A little bit crimped on my room, but I want to make sure everything fits on camera. I do have my score sheet right here in the background, so we'll be able to keep track of that. Plus I have the computer up, so I'm scoring it on the computer as we go as well. And that way also be able to give you the up to the date statistics for all the players. All right, I think all that preliminaries are out of the way, so we should be ready to go. I'm going to put the pitcher here and the batter down here, which will leave me room for the base running tokens. But I did want to put this out here because I think before when I had these, just the regular Strat-O-Matic field, kind of lost the flavor of where the game was being played. This one, clearly you can see Safeco Field. So we'll try it and see how it goes. If it doesn't do well, then I'll switch off. But I'm hoping that this will do okay. I'm going to do one quick check through the computer, I mean through the phone, But I'm hoping the fact that the cards are separated won't be that big of a deal. You can see everything here. I got the dice tray, and it looks like you can see there's one little dead spot right here in the left-hand corner where I'm pointing to here. But if a die ends up over there, I'll bring it out so you can see it. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Michael Bourne will be leading off for the Indians. First of all, though, Jay Happ is 2-2. ERA of 4.39, 27 innings pitched, 29 hits, 4 walks, 20 strikeouts, and 4 home runs allowed. Michael Bourne struggling in the leadoff spot. Although the Indians are scoring a lot of runs, they want Bourne in the leadoff spot, but they may have to move him out of that. He's only hitting a .98 in 81 at bats, no homers and 9 driven in. Only walked 6 times, struck out 22. He does have 5 steals, so they may be looking to do something else with that. We'll see. This is advanced only. The only caveat to that is if a ball is hit to the right side of the infield, I will move the runner from second to third. But no ballpark effects, no clutch, no cutting the throws on the runners. If a runner comes home, they throw for home. The other runners will hold where they are. So that's about the only caveat I can think of. So I think we're ready to go. Jay Happ against Michael Bourne, lefty on lefty matchup. Cleveland's got mostly righties in the lineup. The only lefties are Bourne and Brantley and Kipnis, but you're not going to bench those guys. But they did bench Chisenhall and Murphy. We got a 3-7 for Michael Bourne against the left-hander, and that is a 1-3 single. Anything else, he will ground it to the shortstop, Miller. And it's a 6, so we ground it to Miller, and it's 1 away. 6-3 ground out to start the ball game. And that'll bring up the aforementioned Jason Kipnis. Kipnis is hitting .407, 2 homers, 14 driven in. But he did lose his 20-game hitting streak in the prior game. 1-4. Ground ball to short. So again, Miller will make the play. 2 quick outs. 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up the first baseman, Carlos Santana. Santana on the replay is hitting .244, 4 homers and 18 driven in. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 3-8 against the lefty. A lot of hits in column 3, but he grounds to short again. So all 3 ground outs went to Brad Miller. Took care of all of them. Unusual score sheet there to have 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. It sounds like a tennis match where somebody won it in 3 sets, but that's not what happened. That's just the way the things played out. And here is Carlos Carrasco. He is the starting pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, and on the replay, he is 3-1 with a 4.07 ERA, 24 innings pitched, 15 hits, 3 walks, and 25 strikeouts. So excellent walk to strikeout ratio. And the leadoff man will be Austin Jackson. And Austin Jackson's hitting .280, no homers and 3 runs driven in 75 at bats. So Austin Jackson will lead off for the Mariners against Carlos Carrasco. That's a 6-7, and that's a strikeout. So 1 away early. Injury check on both pitchers. They need a 6-12 to check for injury. So keep in mind 6-12 is the roll we're looking for if we're going to check for an injury. That'll bring up the the right fielder, Seth Smith. And Smith is hitting .263, 3 homers and 8 driven in. 4-8, and that's a walk. So first base runner for the Mariners, it will be Seth Smith. He draws a 1-out walk, and we'll get Seth Smith out there on the base pass. And that'll send up Robinson Cano, second baseman. Seth Smith is an E-stealer. He is not even going to be held. He's no threat to run at all. Cano at second base is hitting .291, a homer, and 9 driven in. Infield at double play depth, looking to turn 2. We get a 2-9, and that's a fly to right for out number 2. So 2 down as Cano flies out to Rayburn in right field. Two down for Nelson Cruz, the designated hitter, and Cruz on the season is hitting .231, kind of struggling, 2 homers and 6 runs driven in, so he could use some hits. That's a 6-11. Remember, 6-12 is the injury check. 6-11 is fine, and that's a ground ball to short to end the inning. So yet another ground ball to short, and at the end of 1 complete, it is no score from Seattle. And Jay Happ will come back out. And he'll be facing Michael Brantley, leadoff hitter in the inning for the Indians. Brantley hitting .342, 4 homers, 18 driven in. Lefty on lefty matchup, 6-8, and that's a strikeout. So Brantley down on strikes. 1 away for the third baseman, Jose Ramirez. Ramirez on the replay, hitting .261, no homers, 6 driven in. Switch hitter batting right-handed. It's a 5-7, and that's a fly to center. That's out number 2. So both pitchers starting out pretty well. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Mike Aviles, as they want to bring in a righty to face the lefty, giving Chisenhall the day off. 176 hitter though for Aviles, only 34 at bats, no homers and 2 runs driven in, but he does pretty well against lefties. See if that will continue. 6-6, it does not. He pops it to short, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning turned in by Jay Happ. He's retired all 6 he has faced. Go to the bottom of the second, no score. And Kyle Seager, third baseman, will lead off for the Mariners against Carrasco. Seager on the replay, hitting .230, 4 homers, 14 driven in. 4-4, a lefty. 4-4 is a catcher X. Catcher in this case is Gomes. He's a 2. 2 and an 18 on the defensive chart. 2 and an 18 is simply a foul out, so that's one away. One down, Seager fouls out. And that'll send up Logan Morrison, first baseman. Morrison hitting .328, homer and 7 driven in. 3-6, and that's a chance for another home run right here. 1-16 will be a home run. And it is gone. Logan Morrison, home run number 2 on the season, RBI number 8. And the Mariners jump out on top 1-0 on the Logan Morrison blast off of Carrasco. Mariners lead at 1-0. And the fans are enjoying that here at Safeco Field. Here's Brad Miller, shortstop. He's hitting .258, 2 homers and 8 driven in. Carrasco's got a rebound from that shot he just gave up. 3-6, and he strikes out Miller. That certainly will help on the rebound. Miller's down on strikes. Brings up the catcher, Mike Zunino. He's really been struggling, but early in the season he was like 0-for. But now he's hitting a $143 and 42 at bats with a homer and 4 runs driven in. He's actually been hot the last couple of games. Had a couple doubles his last game, so he's trying to turn things around. 2 outs, bases empty. 5-12. That's a ground ball, second base X. That is Kipnis. Kipnis is a 3. 3 and a 6 might be good enough. 3 and a 6 for a second baseman is good enough, and the inning's over. But the Mariners strike first on the home run by Morrison. And at the end of 2, it is 1-0 Mariners. So Jay Happ given that lead to try to protect. And Francisco Lindor will lead things off. He's had limited duty, 20 at bats, but he is hitting .350 with 3 homers and 5 driven in. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 1-5, and that's danger for Jay Happ. 1-5 is a 1-6 is a triple. Anything else is a double. That is a double for Francisco Lindor. So Lindor making his presence felt in his first at bat with a thunderous double. And Lindor now at second base with the leadoff double. That'll bring up Yan Gomes. And Gomes and Lindor will have to be held at second base. He's a good runner. So Gomes is hitting a $143 and 35 at bats, a homer and 4 runs driven in. He's kind of splitting 50-50 with Roberto Perez, the other catcher. Not really a starter and a backup. It's more of a 50-50 split. Happ 1-5, and that's another double. Back-to-back doubles. Yan Gomes has just doubled in a run to tie the score. So back-to-back doubles. And Jay Happ having a rough third inning. Scores tied at a run apiece. Lindor comes in to score easily, and trotting into second base will be Yan Gomes. So 2 doubles to start the inning, not the way Happ had envisioned it. That'll bring up the right fielder Ryan Rayburn, and he's had limited duty as well. He is hitting .273, no homers, 3 RBIs, and 33 at bats. Gomes at second base will not be held. He doesn't run well. 212 against a lefty, and that's a Lomax right there. Look at that. Oh, I was trying to hold back the sneeze and I couldn't do it. Sorry. Line out to third base Max. So he lines it to Seager. Seager will flip over to Cano, and they'll double off Gomes. And a big double play. Goes L5. It goes 5 unassisted, and then 5-4 double play for 2 quick outs. That'll clear the bases right away for the top of the order and Michael Bourne. I should have hit the pause button instead of sneezing, but forgot to do it. I apologize for having that go across the video. All right, here's Bourne. First time up, Bourne grounded to short. Base is clear, 2 outs. 6-6 against a lefty, struck him out to end the inning. But Cleveland ties the ball game on back-to-back doubles off the bats of Lindor and Gomes. And we go to the bottom of the third, tied at 1. And leading things off for Seattle will be their number 9 hitter, Dustin Ackley, the left fielder. Ackley, limited duty, 34 at bats, is hitting .294, no homers and 1 driven in. He will eventually get traded to the Yankees. 211, strikeout plus injury, so it's a chance for an injury on Ackley. He's going to strike out. That's going to be the first out, but now we need to check for an injury. So let's get our injury chart out and see what Ackley will do. He may have to come out of this game. If he does, Ruggiano will go in and play left field. But let's see what the injury will bring. There is the injury chart. We're looking at batter injury, rolling to D20. If it's a 6 or less, he can stay in the game. I'm sorry, if it's 4 or less, he stays in the game. 5 or 6, he just misses this game. 7 or higher, he can miss anything. That's a 7. So on a 7, he's going to miss this game plus 1. So he'll miss this game, the next game, and come back for game 3 of the series. But right now, Mr. Ackley will miss the rest of this game and the next one. And Ruggiano will have to come in and play left field in Ackley's place due to the injury. So tough break there for Ackley, adding insult to injury. Not only does he strike out, but he gets hurt. But that's the way it happens here in the Demolition League. All right, 1 away, and that will send up Austin Jackson. Jackson, his first time up, also struck out. 110, and he's going to ground to short. That's out number 2 as Lindor makes the play. Flipping over to Santana. 2 down. And that'll send up Seth Smith. Smith walked his first time up and was stranded at first base. 3-3, and he just avoided another injury. That's a ground ball to second, but it was almost a hit by pitch plus injury. Seattle avoided that, but come away empty-handed here in the third. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the fourth, tied at 1. And now we need a new left fielder. It'll be Justin Ruggiano. He will take over in left field for Ackley. So let's get Ackley out and Ruggiano in. And Ruggiano was a .214 hitter in 70 at-bats in the season for 2015. When he comes to bat, I'll give his replay totals when it's his turn to bat. Right now, Ackley back in the clubhouse and will be 10-2. And we start the top of the fourth with Jason Kipnis and Jay Happ. Kipnis, his first time up, grounded to short. He was in one of those trios that grounded to short to start the game. 4-8 for Kipnis, and is back to his hitting ways again. 1-14 is a double. Anything else is a single. That will be a double for Jason Kipnis. So he's going to probably start another hitting streak, it looks like. Leadoff double for Kipnis. Third double by Cleveland. They don't have any singles. They got 3 doubles. So go figure. And that'll bring up Carlos Santana, switch hitter, batting right-handed. First time up, Santana, also one of those grounders to short. Kipnis at second base is a good runner, so he will be held on. So the pluses on these ground ball pluses come into play. 2-7, and right on cue, there it is. 2-7 is a ground ball shortstop A with them being held. That's a 2-run single, or a 2-base single, I should say. Kipnis will come in to score. RBI single by Santana. But you know, you gotta hold the runner. You can't give him free rein when he's a good base runner like that. You just take the chances you don't hit those pluses, but here we did, and it's a single, 2 stars to score. Kipnis, and the Cleveland Indians take a 2-1 lead. Now conversely, Santana, well, he's a beast stealer. They will hold him as well, so can't take him for granted. Give away free bases. Here's Brantley. That is a 2-7 for Brantley, and that's a single 2 stars. So Santana will motor to third. Brantley reaches on the single. So runners are on the corners with nobody out, and Happ is in serious trouble. Second time around, the Indians are getting to him. They're starting to figure him out. Runners at the corners and nobody out. They're playing back for the double play. They need outs. They'll give up a run to get 2 outs here. Ramirez flew to center his first time up. Brantley at first base is being held. He's an excellent base stealer. In fact, he could think about trying to run. He's an A stealer. The catcher arm is a -1 for Zunino, though, so you'd be looking at a 1-12. So with nobody out, they're going to hold him there. Here's Ramirez. 6-6, switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a pop out to short, infield fly rule, and Ramirez is out. That's a huge out by Jay Happ. Get the out with nobody advancing. Infield fly rule. Now a double play gets him out of the inning. So they're definitely playing for the double play against Aviles. Aviles, his first time up, popped to short. 5-9, but not this time. That's an in-home run chance. Against lefties, he does have normal power. So 1-11 is a 3-run homer. Anything else would be a base-clearing double. That's a 17, so it's probably going to be a base-clearing double. We have to check on Brantley, but yet another double for the Indians. Santana will trot home from third. Question is, will Brantley score? He was being held. He's a 14 base runner being held, makes him a 13, but 2 outs. No, I'm sorry, there's only 1 out. So 1 out, he doesn't get the 2-out advantage. So 13, and the double is assumed to go to center field. Center fielder arm, Austin Jackson, is a 0. So if they want to send him, you're looking at a 1-13, and I think they will send him. 1-13, they're going to try to score him. And he's in there. So it's a base-clearing double for Mike Aviles. Aviles with a base-clearing double. And more runs come in. It's now 4-1 for Cleveland. I'm not going to mess with that 1 because I might need to change to a 4. So Aviles is on, still only 1 out. Bullpen activity for Seattle is going hot and heavy. And Lindor, the batter. Lindor doubled his first time up. Aviles at second base will be held. He's a good base runner, so they'll hold him on. 4-8, switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a single to center field. And with him being held on, they're going to hold Aviles at third base with only 1 out. So Lindor cracks a base hit, and now they're just knocking Happ around pillar to post. And you wonder how much longer he could stay in the game. It's going to bring up Yan Gomes. He is a double play candidate, so they're hoping they can turn the double play here on Gomes. That's a 5-9, but no, that's a bad sign again. 5-9 is back to that home run spot, but he has weak power. So 1-11 would be a single, 12-20 would be a double. That's a single because he's got weak power. It is 2-star single though. Aviles will score, Lindor will take third, and yeah, that's the 4th run of the inning. It is now 5-1 Cleveland as they are just pounding Jay Happ. And I think that's going to be all for Mr. Happ. He just seemed to have lost it all here in the 3rd inning. He's going to have to leave the game. He's going to only face 17 batters. He's going to go 3 1/3 innings. Very short outing for Mr. Happ. And they will go to the bullpen much earlier than they anticipated. And the fans are not happy about it. They will go to, let's see who they want to go to here. Who's got some length for them? They're going to go to Farquhar, I believe. Danny Farquhar will be the pitcher. He does have a relief rating of 2, and that's all for Happ. He just didn't have it. So So the numbers on Farquhar on the replay: he's 0-1 with a 5.40 ERA, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. So this is the kind of game you bring in a pitcher like Farquhar, not one of your best, but you don't want to burn your best guys when you're behind like this. You want to save that for when you got close games. So Gomes and Farquhar now is in the game. Trying to keep it at a 5-1 game, although it could be tough with the runners on the corners and only 1 out. Ryan Rayburn is your batter. Infield at double play depth. 3-11 against a right-hander. That's a ground ball, third base A, and they will turn it. 5-4-3 around the horn to end the inning. So Farquhar does his job, but obviously the damage already done from all those hits. For the Indians, they got 4 runs. They did it on 6 hits, no errors and 1 left. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. It is now 5-1 Cleveland, and Carlos Carrasco, the beneficiary of all these runs, he is loving it. So let's put that in the last result in the computer. And now Robinson Cano will lead off for Seattle as they're in comeback mode. Cano, his first time up, flew to right. That's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball to first. Easy play for Santana. Take it to the bag himself, 1 away. And that'll bring up DH Nelson Cruz. 5-6, and that's a strikeout. So Cruz out of there. And Carrasco seems to be on cruise control. Speaking of Cruz, 2 down for Kyle Seager. That is a 6-5 against a lefty. Struck him out. So 1-2-3 inning for Carrasco. And Seattle didn't get much of a breather. They're right back in the field again. So we go to the 5th. It's 5-1. Obviously Farquhar only faced 1 batter, so he's definitely good to come back, and they need him to eat some innings. He'll be facing the top of the order, Michael Bourne. Bourne is grounded to short and struck out, so continues to struggle from the leadoff spot. So they may be moving him down the order shortly. 2-8, ground ball to second. He's going to continue to struggle as he's now 0 for 3. You don't usually score a lot of runs when your leadoff man is 0 for 3, but the rest of the order is doing the job for Cleveland. Here's Kipnis, doubled and scored his last time up. 1-5 against the right-hander. He's going to fly to left. That's 2 down as the new left fielder Ruggiano puts it away. And Farquhar trying to stabilize the situation for the pitching. Here's Santana. 4-8. Santana switch hitter batting left. 4-8 is a 2-out walk to Santana. So Santana will draw the 2-out walk, keep the inning going for Brantley. Brantley, his last time up, singled and scored. Santana, of course, will be held. 5-9 versus a lefty is a 1-12 home run. That's bad news, and of course he has normal power. So 1-12 was a 2-run homer for Brantley. 14 is actually going to be a double. Let's see if Santana can score a double to center field because it's not listed, so it's assumed to go to center. Jackson's a 0 arm. Santana was being held, which drops him from a 12 to an 11, but there are 2 outs, makes him a 13. So it'll be a 1-13 to send him. They're going to send him. And he's in there. Double and score there for Santana. He beat the throw. And Brantley gets himself an RBI double to make it 6-1. Figured up 5-1. You could take a chance on the base pass. They did, and it paid off. 6-1 ball game now, as Brantley comes through with base hit number 2. And that'll bring up Jose Ramirez. He's 0 for 2. Brantley held at second. 6-7, switch hitter batting left. That's a 1-13 double again. Could be another double once again. 14 or higher, he flies out. That's a 6, or 5 rather, so it's another double or another run. It is now 7-1. And Farquhar may not be the answer either. as Ramirez cracks a double, RBI double. And the Indians have just blown this thing wide open. I like to have close games, but this just doesn't seem to be one of them, as the Indians have their hitting shoes on. 7-1. Farquhar is now tired. They want to get him through the inning, though, if they can. They would prefer to. Here's Aviles, the DH. Ramirez not being held at 7-1. They're not going to hold any runners anymore. 1-4 for Aviles, and he's going to walk, and that's going to keep the inning going. Not exactly what Farquhar wanted. He's frustrated, and now he's tired. And now you have to face Lindor. And do you let him face? I think you got to take him out just to be merciful. I guess we're going to take him out. So that's going to be all for Farquhar. And with Lindor coming up, he hits pretty much as well against righties as he does lefties. So I think they're going to go to another righty out of the bullpen, and it will be Mark Lowe. So Mark Lowe will come on to try to get out of this. Mark Lowe. Farquhar going to the showers. Lowe on the replay. Checks in. No one-loss record, no saves, 4.50 ERA, 6 innings pitched, 9 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. So limited duty, of course. But now he's going to face Lindor in a tough spot. 2 runs are already in. It's 7-1. And that's a 2-10. That's ground ball to second to end the inning. So the inning is mercifully over. But it is now 7-1. Favor the Tribe. And it doesn't matter what Lloyd McClendon does, he just can't pull the right trigger apparently, because the Indians are just bound and determined that they're going to hit the ball in this game. And now Tabby wants to act up. I thought she was being so good, and I thought she'd be good the rest of the way, but all of a sudden now, I guess she got frustrated by the high score as well, by the non-close game, I should say. Here's Logan Morrison, his first time up. He hit the home run that gave Seattle, at the time, a 1-0 lead. 5-3, and that's a fly ball right field X. Right fielder is Rayburn. He is a 3. 3-19, he will make the play. It's just the kind of game it's been for Seattle. D20s aren't going to cooperate, obviously. Morrison is retired, and that brings up Brad Miller. Miller, his first time up, went down on strikes. That is a 4-9 against a lefty, and that is a strikeout, so he's going to strike out again. 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. And Carrasco just cruising with this big lead. Zunino stepping up. Grounded to second his first time up. 3-4, he's going to strike out this time, so Carrasco just laying it on the Mariners hot and heavy. We go to the 6th, it's 7-1. And Carrasco definitely large and in charge in this one. Lowe will come back out to pitch the top of the 6th. And it'll be Yan Gomes to lead things off. Yan Gomes doubled and singled. He's 2 for 2. From the number 8 position, 5-10. This time he grounds to short, and that's 1 away. To start the 6th inning. Long game because of all these runs. Here's Rayburn. 1-9 for Rayburn. He will draw the walk. So 1-out walk issued to Mr. Rayburn. Order flips over from Michael Bourne. Rayburn, of course, not being held with a 7-1 game. They're not going to run or think about running. 4-5, and that's a home run chance, but he does have weak power. So 1 to 5 will be a single. Anything else will be a double. That is a single. 2 stars, so Rayburn will go to 3rd. But Bourne, because he had weak power, did not get the home run. But he does get the single. Does get the single, puts Rayburn to 3rd base. Runners at the corners with only 1 out, and the hit parade continues for the Tribe. They definitely have their hitting shoes on today. They've got 11 hits already, and we're just in the 6th inning. 1 out in the 6th inning. They've got 11 hits and 7 runs already. Here's Kipnis. He's 1 for 3 with a double. 2-6, and that's a 1-14 single. Anything else, he lines to first. It's a 1 star if he gets the single. It's a 19 though. He lines it to first, so it's snagged by Morrison for out number 2. Nobody doubled off. Everybody got back. But even the outs are getting to be hard hit shots. And that brings up Santana. 2 down, 2 on. So far, nobody in, but that's a threat to change real quick. 2-8, but it doesn't. It's a strikeout to end the inning. So Lowe gets through that mess. It's probably going to be all for Mr. Lowe. I want to wear him out. So I think we're going to cap him there. Big thing is they kept Cleveland off the scoreboard this inning. That was a huge accomplishment the way this game is going. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 7-1. This is the fatigue inning for Carlos Carrasco, so we'll keep an eye on that. New left fielder Justin Ruggiano gets his first at bat since coming in for the injured Dustin Ackley. It's a 5-5, and he strikes out. So Carrasco keep going where he's been. He's just in autopilot, I think. No pressure at all. Just oops, wrong side. Let's get the right guy in there. That would be Austin Jackson, top of the order for the Mariners. And we get a 4-9. 4-9's another strikeout. He's not tired, so the strikeout is good. And Carrasco just rolling them up. Rolling those K's up big time. And that'll bring up Seth Smith, the right fielder. 6-7, and that's another strikeout. Boy, Carrasco just wheeling and dealing, striking out the side. And if you're a Seattle fan, you might be heading for the exits. I don't know. You just might, because it's been a frustrating evening for them. New pitcher coming in for Seattle. It will be a left-hander. Left-hander, Charlie Furbush. You'll be on. Furbush on the replay is 0-1, but his ERA is 8.10. Only pitched 3 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 walks, no strikeouts. So he's definitely struggled, but when you're down this much, you bring in your struggling pitchers. You don't want to burn your good ones. So Charlie Furbush will be coming on. Carrasco's going to stay out there for the 7th, obviously. He's cruising. No reason to take him out whatsoever. So Furbush is on to face Michael Brantley to start the 7th. 4th pitcher used by the Mariners. They want to try to use 5 or less if they can. We'll see how it plays out. Brantley. Against Furbush, lefty on lefty, 5-7, and that's a strikeout. So nice strikeout there by Furbush. Puts the K on Brantley. Here's Jose Ramirez. 1-8, and that's a line out to first, snagged by Morrison, 2 down. So far, so good for Mr. Furbush. Gonna lower that ERA. It's already down to 6.75. Here's Aviles, the DH. 1-7, ground ball back to the pitcher Furbush. So he pitches a clean, scoreless. He's a long relief guy, so he's going to stay out there a while. He's got a 3 up here, no, I'm sorry, he's got a 1. 3 is his defensive rating. My bad. He's a 1 inning guy. I thought he was kind of a partial reliever, so he's going to pitch his 1 inning, and that's going to be it. But he got the job done. He certainly got it done. Kept the Indians out of the way. And we go now to the 7th inning stretch. And unfortunately for Seattle, it's not a pleasant one. They are down 7-1. Carlos Carrasco will be coming back out. One moment while I stretch. All right, hopefully you'll stretch with me as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." So stretching is complete. Carrasco finishing his warm-up tosses to start the 7th. Cleveland bullpen does have some minor activity. Webb is loosening the bullpen just in case. And Robbie Cano will lead things off for the Mariners. They got their work cut out for him, down 7-1. Carrasco struck out the side in the 6th and struck out the last 2 guys he faced in the 5th. He has struck out 5 in a row. He's got a total in the game now of 10. 1-2, and that's a single to left field. So Robbie Cano finally gets some activity with a base hit. Finally see some Mariners on the bases for a change. That's only the 2nd hit of the game for the Mariners. The other hit was the home run from Morrison. So they haven't had a whole lot of base runners. They had a walk to Seth Smith, and that was it. So leadoff single for Cano. Of course, nobody's being held on. He's not going anywhere. So here's Nelson Cruz. 4-12, and that is a possible home run. 1-9. We ignore the ballpark because we're not doing it super advanced. It's a 1-9. Of course, he has normal power. So 1-9. It's a 2-run homer, and it's gone. Nelson Cruz comes through with a home run. That is his 3rd of the season. RBIs 7 and 8, and maybe there's a chink in the armor of Carrasco, as the lead is now cut to 7-3, and the bullpen definitely loosening for the Indians. A little bit further, a little bit more haste on the bullpen, as a 2-run homer from Nelson Cruz has got the attention of Terry Francona. And let's see. Check something out here. There we go. It'll be Kyle Seager. Carrasco's not tired yet, so they're going to leave him out there. 3-5, and that's a walk. So now he could be on the verge of being fatigued, as even if he's not, he looks like he's kind of just lost it all of a sudden, and they don't want this game to get away from him. He is now officially fatigued, so he will be coming out of there. They will make the move to the bullpen, and they will be bringing in Ryan Webb. Webb on the replay hasn't had a lot of activity. Well, he's done okay, I guess, for activity, but he hasn't had good results. He's 1-0, but his ERA is 12.46. 9 innings pitched, 16 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. He's given up 7 home runs in 9 innings. But when you're up 7-3, I guess they figured you can use him. Of course, it was up 7-1 at the time, so they may be second-guessing that particular decision. On the real season, he was not that bad. 1-0 with 3.20 ERA, so he's just having a rough early season go at it. So they're thinking he can turn this thing around. So Webb is on, and he'll be facing Logan Morrison to start the inning, or to start the festivities after the walk to Seager. So Logan Morrison is up to face Webb. Seager not being held. 4-4. That's a ground ball, third base X against the lefty. So the third baseman is Ramirez. He's a 3. 3 and a 5. Let's see if that's a good play or not. Should be. 3 and a 5 is a ground ball C. So he does make the play, but runner will advance on the 5-3 ground out. 1 down. And that's going to take us to Brad Miller. Again, Seager not being held. 110, and that's bad news for Webb. 110's a triple for Miller. 11 to 20 is a double. Either way, a run's going to score. That is a double for Brad Miller. And the run scores, and all of a sudden it's 7-4. Back come the Mariners. So what was thought for dead now is all of a sudden back in the game. So let me get that. I forgot to put the ground out in the last result, so that's why he wasn't on second base like he should have been. So let's ground out to, whoops. Okay, there we go. Now it's 7-4. And Zunino coming to the plate. Would they consider pinch hitting for Zunino? They do have recently acquired Mark Trumbo that could give them a big lift right here. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to pull Zunino, and they are going to newly acquired from the Diamondbacks, Mark Trumbo. This will be his first at bat with Seattle. So Trumbo will pinch it, and then Sucre will come in to catch for Zunino. Trumbo, his numbers with the Diamondbacks, he hit 204, 4 homers, 5 RBIs in 49 at bats. He's got a big chance here. Miller not being held at second base. Webb to pitch to Trumbo. 1-7, and that's a ground ball to third, so Trumbo fails, and the runner will have to hold at second base. Out number 2, and it's going to bring up Justin Ruggiano. So we have Sucre coming in to catch now for Trumbo, because Trumbo pinch hit for catcher Zunino. So now Sucre will be coming on to catch. That leaves Willie Bloomquist as the only bench player remaining for the Mariners. So 2 down for Ruggiano. Webb to Ruggiano, 2-8, struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. So 3 runs come across for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 7th to cut the lead to 7-4. So they're back in the ball game. They are back in the ball game, but don't know for how long. And we'll see if we need a new pitcher, obviously, for Seattle as well. And let's see who they want to go to out of their bullpen. They will turn to Tom Wilhelmsen. He will be coming on after we put Sucre in the game defensively. So I've got to do some logistics here on the computer to get everything where it needs to be. And now we bring in Wilhelmsen to replace Furbush. And on the replay, Wilhelmsen 0-0 with a 5.40 ERA, 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So Wilhelmsen is pitcher number 4. Actually, pitcher number 5 used by the Mariners. So they're hoping he can pitch these last 2 innings and not have to burn any more of their bullpen. That's what they're hoping. He gets to face the joy of facing Francisco Lindor to lead things off in a 7-4 game, top of the 8th. So what was once a blowout is now at least a reasonably interesting game as far as the score goes. It's a 3-4, and that's a ground ball to second, so Lindor is out of there. Cano throws over to Morrison for out number 1. So hopefully people didn't leave the game when it was 7-1, and hopefully they stuck around to see at least this far that it's 7-4. Here's John Gomes, 6'9", and Wilhelmsen, I didn't check his injury factor, but I don't think 6'9" is going to bother him. 6'9" is a strikeout for one thing, so Gomes gets the K, but I don't think he's going to be injured on that result. Check it for official purposes. Wilhelmsen is a 2, which means he needs a 6'11" to be injured, so 6'9" is no problem. 2 up and 2 down for Ryan Rayburn. Four, 7. That's a 2-out walk, so Ryan Rayburn reaches again from the number 9 position, and he coaxes a 2-out walk. Rayburn is not going to be held as the E stealer, and we'll flip the order over to Michael Bourne. Obviously been struggling, but he did single his last time up. 3-11, but he's going to fly to left here to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Indians. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-4, and I believe Webb's going to stay out there. But if the game gets any closer, you can better believe they're going to some better relievers. So let's see, 3-11 was the fly to left to end the inning here in the 8th. And top of the order due up for the Mariners, Austin Jackson, because they pretty much have to go with who they have. Bloomquist is the only guy left on the bench. So Webb will be facing Austin Jackson. That's a 5-6, and it's a fly to right, 1 away. They'd like to get Webb through this inning and then bring in somebody else to pitch the 9th if possible. Seth Smith, the batter. Four, 5. That's a grounder to second, and Kipnis handles it. 2 down. So Webb definitely improving his stock in this game, getting back to more of what he did in the regular season of 2015. Here's Robbie Cano. 6-5. Oh, that's trouble. Against the lefty, 1-9 is a triple. Anything else is a double. That is a double for Robinson Cano, a 2-out double for Cano. And now with Nelson Cruz up, you wonder if they're going to pull Webb at this point. They might have to. I don't know if Francona wants to mess around. I think Webb is going to be pulled. So Webb, that's it for Webb. He couldn't make it through the remainder of the inning like they wanted. And they're going to bring in Brian Shaw, a right-hander, out of the bullpen. Brian Shaw, and we'll get the numbers on Shaw. He's 1-2 with an ERA of 6.30, 10 innings pitched, 9 hits, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Has given up 2 home runs in 10 innings of pitching. And Nelson Cruz, definitely a home run threat. So Cruz is on to face Shaw. Cano not being held at second. 2-8, ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning. So Shaw got it done and keeps the Mariners off the scoreboard. So we go to the 9th. Still 7-4. Favor of the Tribe. And Michael Bourne it's actually Kipnis coming up. So Kipnis will lead things off against Wilhelmsen. .64, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Miller. Miller as a shortstop is a 3. 3 and a 10 is going to go to his error check. He's an E27. E27 and a 3 as a shortstop. E27 and a 3. That is a one base error. One base error on Miller. First error of the game for either team. And it's on Miller. So that will allow Kipnis to reach to start the 9th. And Kipnis they will hold him on. I want to give him a free base. Here's Santana. 3-5 for Santana, and that's another walk. So back-to-back walks here in the 9th by Wilhelmsen. Not a good thing to do. And they're going to pull Wilhelmsen, and they're going to bring in Joe Beimel. It will be the 6th pitcher used by the Mariners, but they want to at least have a semblance of still being in the game. So Joe Beimel, the lefty, will be on to face the lefty Brantley with 2 on and nobody out here in the 9th. So it is Beimel. That is on. Facing Brantley. 4-2 for Beimel is another walk, so that's going to load the bases. And I don't know what's going on with the Mariners pitching staff, but they just can't find the strike zone all of a sudden. Bases are now full of Indians. Got the whole tribe there on the base paths. And it might be time for Mariners to find the strike zone. That would be helpful. Infield is in with nobody out. They're going to have to play the infield in. Is Ramirez. 6-4. Oh, that almost was a home run chance right there on a 6-3. 6-4 is a fly ball C, so that means the runner's got a hold. So it was not deep enough. And he gets the out with no damage done so far. But now you got the DH Mike Aviles. He's in there against Beimel. Now, do they want to go to another pitcher again? You really want to use up all your pitchers in this game? I guess they're going to. You know what? They're going for broke here. They're going to go to another pitcher out of the bullpen. This time a right-hander, Carson Smith. So they pretty much used everybody except for Fernando Rodney. He's the only one left in the bullpen. It's their closer, Rodney. So they're going with Smith. Now, most of these guys, they were off game yesterday or off day yesterday, so they're rested, and they only pitched, minimal innings, so they should be okay, I guess. Aviles, though, they're going to call him back. They're not going to use Aviles. Francona's going to make a corresponding move and bring in Lonnie Chisenhall to pinch hit in the DH spot. So Chisenhall is on, and this could really be spell disaster for the Mariners right here. As Chisenhall is on. Bases loaded, 1 out. Do you play the infield in or you play the infield back is the question. He's got quite a few B's here with pluses. Don't really see a whole lot of A's there. So they're going to play, there's 1 A there with a plus, but they're going to play the infield in. They're going to play the infield in. They don't trust the double play. They're playing the infield in. Carson Smith needs a strikeout. 4-4. Won't get it. It will get a fly ball to right field C, though, so it won't be deep enough to score him. And that's out number 2 for Francisco Lindor. So living dangerously. Infield back to normal depth now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 2-9 for Lindor, struck him out. So how about that? Carson Smith pitches out of the mess. They had to go deep into the bullpen, but it keeps the score at 7-4 and keeps the Mariners in the game. So how about that? Aggressive managing from Lloyd McClendon to keep his team in the game at 7-4. And now the Mariners have at least a glimmer of hope to be able to do something, but they're going to have to do it against the closer for Cleveland, and that is Cody Allen. So Cody Allen will be on for Cleveland, and we'll get to the numbers on Cody Allen. I forgot to get to the numbers on Carson Smith, but I don't think that's really necessarily important. But Cody Allen as a closer, certainly worthy of getting his numbers spit out. He's 0-0 with a 2.70 ERA, 6 saves. So if he gets the save here, he will tie the league lead with 7 saves. He's pitched 7 innings, given up 6 hits. I'm sorry, 6 hits, 6 walks, 10 strikeouts. So it'll be Mr. Cody Allen to try to close the deal for the Indians. He'll be doing it against Seager, Morrison, and Miller, 3 lefties, but you got to go with the best you have out of your bullpen. You're not really playing lefty-righty at this point, not when you're dealing with closers. So Shaw went 1/3 of an inning, got the job done that he was required to do, and now Cody Allen is in to try to get the save. It would be kind of a cheap save with a 3-run lead, but that's the way the rules are, so let's go with it. Here's Seager. 2-7, and that's all these hits in column 2 for Seager, and he hit the fly ball to center. Bad break there for Seager. He had a chance to get something done right there, but didn't do it. Here's Logan Morrison to 5-7 against a lefty, and that's going to be a strikeout. Cody Allen with a strikeout. 2 up and 2 down. It's all up to Brad Miller. Allen to Miller, 4-6 against a lefty, and that's another strikeout to end the ball game. So a 1-2-3 inning for Cody Allen. He didn't play around. He got the job done, and the Indians win it 7-4 over the Mariners. Seven to 4 your score. Winning pitcher is Carrasco. He gets the win. Losing pitcher, unfortunately, is Jay Happ. And the save goes to Cody Allen. His 7th, so that means he ties the league lead now. There's a bunch of guys at 7. There's Familia, there is Uhara, and there is the Cincinnati closer as well, Chapman. So he's got 7 saves. So there's a lot of them at 7 saves through 22 games. Or 21 games. Some teams play 21, some teams play 22, but 7 saves there. So 7-4 your final. Cleveland wins it over Seattle, and they do it by pounding out all sorts of hits. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got them for 11 hits unofficially and no errors. And let's see, for Seattle, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only got them for 5 hits. So unofficially, Cleveland wins it 7-4. 7 runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Indians. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for Seattle. Indians improve to 15-7 and continue to lead the league. Seattle drops to 12-10. This is game 1 of a 3-game set, so we'll see what happens in the other games to finish out Series 8 for these 2 teams. Next video, it will be also in Series 8. It'd be matchup 4, and that pits the Boston Red Sox against the Giants from San Francisco. So no DH. Ortiz is going to have to play first base, and Tim Hudson will be taking on Eduardo Rodriguez. That'll be the pitching matchup in that one, and that will post sometime midweek. So hope you enjoyed that presentation of the Strat-O-Matic 2015 Demolition League. Cleveland with the big victory as they got the hitting shoes on and pounded out a bunch of hits and drew a bunch of walks as well. Not only did they get 11 hits, but Seattle issued, let's see how many walks they issued here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 walks were issued. So a lot of base runners, plus 1 error. So that's 8. So 15 total base runners for the Indians in this game. They seem like they're on the base paths from the 3rd inning on just about every inning. And Seattle made a slight rally in the 7th with 3 runs, but couldn't quite get it done. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.